Hello everybody! So we are going to be solving another ratio word problem, but today we are going to be using a ratio table to solve this problem. Here we go. Deja typed 84 words in 2 minutes. Assuming that she types at a constant rate, use a ratio table to find out how many words she would type in 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 9 minutes. All right, so this problem is actually talking about rates. And remember that a rate is a type of ratio that compares two different units. So miles per hour, or in this case, what we are comparing is words per minute. Okay, so when we set up our ratio table, sometimes ratio tables can be long or they can be horizontal. So I'm actually, for the sake of space, going to set one up horizontally. So the first thing that I want to do in my ratio table, is write out my word ratios. So I am comparing words to my other unit is minutes. Remember that because these are different units, that's what makes this a rate and not just a ratio, okay? Now we could go ahead and draw the box in, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it like this. So when you're solving a word problem, this is much easier to draw this T-chart than drawing the little box and filling everything in. All right, so here we go. We are actually going to start by making our boxes. And let's fill in the given information. So we're gonna write in the numbers that the problem gives us, okay? So we know that Deja types 84 words. So let's put that 84 with words. And she does that in 2 minutes. So 2 minutes and 84 words. Now we are looking for some pieces of information. We want to know how many words she can type in 1 minute. So I'm putting a 1 with minutes. How many she can type in 3 minutes. And how many she can type in 9 minutes. So that means I have 3 spaces that I'm looking to fill in my ratio table. Remember, with ratios, we look for patterns in multiplication and division. So let's start with our rate, and let's actually start by finding our unit rate. Remember that a unit rate has a denominator of 1. So we are going to find for 1 minute how many words can Deja type. Let's think. How do I go from 2 to 1 using multiplication and division? Divide by 2. So that means I'm going to do the same thing to the top, and I'm going to divide 84 by 2. 84 divided by 2 is going to give me 42. So Deja types 42 words in 1 minute. That is her unit rate, 42 words per minute. We can use our unit rate to solve for the other amounts in our table. So let's start with our unit rate now. We have 1 and 42. And I'm going to think with multiplication and division, how many times does 1 go into 3? Getting bigger, so we're multiplying times 3. Once I have that on the bottom, I know that I'm doing the same thing on the top. So I'm going to multiply 42 times 3. Since I don't know what that is, I'm not going to do the math right here. I'm actually going to move off to the side and set up an area to do my scratch work over here. So I have 6, and 3 times 4 is 12. That means in 3 minutes, she can actually type 126 words. And now we're just missing one piece of information. We just need to solve for how many words can she type in 9 minutes. We don't need to go back to our unit rate, although you can, because 3 and 9 are compatible numbers. 3 goes into 9 an even amount of times. So I can multiply 3 times 3 to get 9, which means I'm going to do the same thing on the top. 126 times 3 is going to give me this piece of information right here. Again, I'm going to move off to the side so that my work is neat and organized, and I'm going to set up 3 times 6 is 18, so I'm carrying the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. So this means that Deja can type 378 words in 9 minutes. So we've gone ahead and solved for all 3 pieces of information. We've shown our work with our multiplication and division, and we've kept our sketchwork off to the side. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and leave me a comment or give me a thumbs up if this video was helpful. If you've solved this problem in a different way, feel free to leave a comment and share with others how you solved it as well. Thanks, have a great day.